So he's looking for roommates.
Hello?
Hey, you can advertise that now, this work.
That's right, he's looking for roommates, you know, trying to.
Hello?
But what he pays in rent down there is about what a mortgage would cost.
Hello?
Pays over $1,000 a month for a tiny, tiny little one-bedroom thing that's nothing special.
Wow.
You know, it's like, man, I could do a mortgage. And I'm like, yeah, you could. So they're growing up, you know.
Yeah, I know. I get feeling really old.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't have Wes. I don't think Crystal will tease us too much about a loss on Friday, but I know Wes would.
Yeah, he would. Chris is too good of a sport, right, Chris?
That's exactly right. So much to say, so much to say.
You don't have to say anything. We got.
Yeah, we did.
Bass fishing, that's where it's at, bass fishing. Those of you who do not know, South Carolina has a national championship bass fishing program.
Premier program in the country.
Well, women's sports in general typically do well, but the guys did step up for their bass fishing skills.
Your women's basketball coach is outstanding.
Yeah.
I'd like to call the meeting to order tonight. I think our technical difficulties are taken care of, I hope. And hopefully we'll have a smooth meeting that will go fairly quickly. The agenda, as you've all seen, is fairly short, so let's get right to it. Mr. Roper, would you please have the invocation?
Thank you. May we all go to God in prayer. Creating and sustaining God, we are gathered here in this time and place, seeking organization and unity in a broken and suffering world. A world divided from each other by disease and by mistrust. We long for togetherness and for health, and we feel called by your Spirit for reconciliation. Yet we recognize that our best efforts fall short of your perfect will. Only through your grace may we be unified and made whole. Your word teaches that this wholeness must be manifested and be active in a variety of ways. We must love one another. We experience, practice, and pursue community with one another, and that we are obligated to give ourselves willingly and joyfully to the benefit and blessing of each other. This harmony, you have taught us, can only be found in freedom and not under constraint. And it requires a variety of gifts, opportunities, backgrounds, and convictions, all by your grace opportunities for mutual service and enrichment within our one people of God. It is to that end that we are here now gathered. Grant us wisdom, grant us patience, grant us strength, and grant us a spirit of harmony and perseverance as we face these challenges laid before us in the coming term of this, our local form of government. For we trust what you have told us, that whenever 2 or 3 of us, or 6, are gathered, there will you be also. Amen.
Thank you. First pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator, for that prayer. Traditionally, the county attorney has addressed council at his first meeting of his 2-year terms for the new council to welcome you and to organize you. I told our administrator last week that I wanted to use a quote by Lou Reed in my welcoming remarks tonight. Lou Reed was a rock and roll star who first started out in the late 1960s with a band called the Velvet Underground in New York City. He went on to have several hit songs and was famous worldwide. And when I was in law school, I was working with an attorney, and his job, his client was the sheriff of York County, who had been charged with embezzlement, and the charges were much brought by the newspaper who was buying everything by the barrel. And we went to York County, and it turned out that the cookie money, literally the cookie money, which they said was embezzlement, wasn't embezzled, and the judge threw the case out. And as we were leaving, the attorney that I was with put some music on the stereo as we were driving back to Columbia, and it was Lou Reed. And I said, "That's great music, I love it." And I started listening to it, and I listened to it as I suffered through law school, as I studied the next 2 years. And I listened to a lot of Lou Reed, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. And later in life, Lou Reed was closely associated with a man named Victor Havel. And if you remember, Victor Havel was the leader of the revolution by the Czechoslovakian people against communist rule in the Eastern Bloc country. His revolution was bloodless. He overthrew the communist government and installed a democratic government. And the name of his revolution was in part named from Lou Reed. His revolution was called the Velvet Revolution, just like the Velvet Underground song. And Victor Havel had been jailed in the 80s under communist Czechoslovakia, and he credited the music of Lou Reed getting him through his jail time, where the communists had persecuted him to jail. And Victor Havel was an artist, and he made an effort to fuse art and politics together. And so once the revolution occurred, he had some press conferences and invited Lou Reed. Lou Reed came and gave the press conferences with Victor Havel in the new republic, the Czech Republic at that point. And some people even say that Lou Reed became an ex officio member of Victor Havel's cabinet. I'm not sure about that. And it was about that time that Lou Reed wrote a song that was called The Beginning of a Great Adventure. And I thought, what better thing to talk about than the beginning of a great adventure for a new government in the Czech Republic or a new government in Pickens County with this new county council. And like any attorney worth his salt, I decided to research it. So I listened to the song. Well, it didn't have anything to do with government. It was not written about the Czech Republic. It didn't have anything to do with what you are going to do. So I was going back to the drawing board about what I was going to talk about, and then I realized that this illustrated something. The song that I listened to told me something different than what I thought. Because I listened, I knew that what I thought was not right. It was a viewpoint from somebody else that I listened to, and listening is the most important thing. So I would urge you as a council to listen. Listen to your administrator, listen to your constituents, listen to your family, listen to your lawyer maybe, but listen and communicate. You listen and communicate. I looked for another quote that was a little bit more on point, and I found one that I think is directly to the point. It was by Theodore Roosevelt, and I know you know who Theodore Roosevelt was. And Theodore Roosevelt said, "The government is us. You and I, we are the government." And that truly, truly is what county council is. You are the government. You're where the rubber hits the road. Your Congress is in Washington, our legislature is in Columbia. You're here. You're the guys that affect the day-to-day lives of your constituents more than anybody else. So I'd ask that If you both listen and communicate, that you will find that you have much more in common with each other than differences. You will have much more in common with your constituents than differences with your constituents. So it's my hope that as you listen and communicate over these next few years, that we can provide for an efficient and beneficial services in Pickens County, and that through your listening and through your communication, you can make us a better county, make Pickens County a better county. So, after that story, we're going to get on to the business. And so, what our business is tonight is to elect a chairman and other officers of our council, which are listed on your agenda. So, at this point, I would like to go into a motion period and new business period, and the chairman would entertain a motion for chairman of this county council.
Mr. Hendricks,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hendricks, this is Roy. I'd like to make a motion for Councilman Chris Bowers to be chairman.
I hear a motion for Councilman Chris Bowers to be chairman. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
A second from Mr. Feenstra. Do I hear discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'm going to put it to a vote. All in favor of Mr. Chris Bowers being chairman of Pickens County Council, please say aye.
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 That's unanimous. Congratulations, Mr. Bowers. At this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you, as you are the chairman, and I wish you great luck, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. At this time, I'll accept motions for the election of vice chair.
I move for Roy Costner.
All right, motions for Roy Costner. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Wilson. Are there any other motions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote for Mr. Roy Costner to be vice chair. All those in favor signify by raising your hand, saying aye.
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 Unanimous. Congratulations, Mr. Vice Chairman Costner. At this time, I will entertain motions for the election of Vice Chair Pro Tem.
I'd like to make a motion for Councilman Whitehurst, that please.
The motion is for Councilman Whitehurst. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Feimster. Are there any other motions? All right, I'll call for the vote for Councilman Whitehurst to be Vice Chair Pro Tem. All those in favor signify by raising your hand, saying aye.
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 It's unanimous. Congratulations, Councilman Whitehurst. All right. Typically on the agenda at this point, we would do chair appointments. The last couple of years, we've taken a moment and done that in our first formal meeting. I would like to continue that tradition and not make those appointments tonight. Council meeting schedule, since we do not have an agenda to work off of tonight, and I really, for everyone's sake of time, I would like to hold our next council meeting the third Monday, which would normally be our committee of the whole meeting night. That allows everyone some time, if that's all right, and gives us some time to get an agenda together as well. So I'll make sure Ms. Nations gets that out on everyone's agenda. We'll also discuss making sure, I want to do what's best for everyone. Hope everyone knows that. And, maybe Mondays are not the best night, so we can discuss that at that time. Also want you all to kind of look for a time we can get together. I don't like the word retreat. I don't know, I just retreat. It's never a retreat. And any of you who have served, which all of us have now, it's not a retreat. But a time to get together kind of off the meeting mode, if you will, so that we can get some good goals together for the administrator and his team, so that we can move forward. And I'll have Ms. Nations kind of poll, whether that's a Saturday afternoon or one evening, it doesn't matter. We'll see what works best for everyone there. But I would like to get that done sooner rather than later. With that being said, Our next meeting will be the third Monday, and I don't have that date right off.
18th.
Monday, the 18th, 6:30 in council chambers. Look forward to seeing everyone here then, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Feimster. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wilson. All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll hold the meeting adjourned. Thank you. Faster than I heard.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.